Hey there, folks. Rob Allen here, co-CEO of The People Stack, where we help people just like you have high-powered, high-impact careers that draw the best, highest-paid salaries without having to work your butt off to get there. And today, I want to talk about one way that I see a lot of folks spending some of their free time. And by free time, I mean time outside of work, time that could or should be spent doing hobbies, having fun with other things. And instead, what I see people doing doesn't really jive with their larger goals. Now, what I'm talking about here is reading blogs, reading Twitter, watching YouTube videos, reading Medium articles, if that's still really even a thing, and just really absorbing, consuming. Ultimately, though, it's one of the global laws of wealth in general. You produce more than you consume. But think about it. The richest countries in the world are the ones who produce more goods and services than they consume. It's obvious. So why then do so many people forget that when it comes to their careers? I don't know if you've seen those ads for the subscription service that they'll send you a box or a book of boxes a week, or even there's even ones that send you cliff notes. So they've already read the books, they're just going to send you a digest. Or the super cheesy Twitter influencers who brag about how much they read in each year. This is not a productive way to increase your impact or your personal value. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against reading and learning. I'm the guy who goes to conferences and sits in the back soaking up all the knowledge, or sits in the front soaking up the knowledge where the good seats really are. But I make damn sure when I leave there, when I go away, I implement it. I don't just consume, I produce. When I go to the Business of Software conference, or I went to Calibrate before that got shut down, I would take copious notes, and then when I got home, I would apply those things to my teams right away, as soon as possible. And so many people, though, get so bogged down in thinking that they always need to be taking in new knowledge, more blogs, more podcasts, more tweet storms. You don't. You learn more by actually getting out there and testing stuff than you do reading it in books or taking more courses. You do it in the day-to-day process of your work, but not your career. Every single one of you spends a great deal of time trying out a new bit of code or a new tech toy, a new service, or a new way of drawing up your projects, or a new way of testing your project ideas, but you don't apply that to the larger scope of your career. And there's a reason. You want to hear the truth? You ready for it? Most people don't consume all of that additional content because they honestly believe that it's going to make them smarter, make them more agile, or make them more impactful. They do it because, frankly, it's an easy way to procrastinate. You can convince yourself that you're being productive by all of that reading and all of that learning when all you're really doing is delaying the actual work, the actual thing that you need to get done in order to move the ball forward. That side of things, it's a little scary. Because what we're really afraid of is that if we give it our all, we're still going to fail. That we may fail and have no reason to point at our failure, point to our failure, than that we just weren't good enough, or we just didn't do enough. Consuming stuff keeps you in a safe space. Reading those blogs, following those advice columns, the bits that talk about how there's, these best practices you need to follow in these situations, or you need to be using this set of tools, or you need to be using this opinionated framework, or you need to be using this. Doesn't matter. Consuming stuff keeps you in your safe space. Producing, going out there and doing the work, that's where you're laying it on the line. That's where you're earning your pay. That's where you're earning the joy, the love, the kudos. But laying it on the line is the only way you're going to have that high impact, high paying career you truly want. That's why at the People Stack, we describe our way of teaching as transformational, not informational. We give you the bare minimum when it comes to consumption. You'll note that these talks don't really give you more things to go try and more things to go look at. They're to shake you into action. We do everything in our power to make sure you actually implement whatever it is we teach you, whenever we do teach you, and go and produce. Make those changes to your life. See the impact of the difference that you made. See the change reflected in the teams that you work with. See the difference reflected in the feedback that you get, because that's really where the value lies. And that's not what people want to hear. It's a shame. They want to hear there's one weird trick to 10x your career in some book by a former Googler or somebody who worked at all of the different FANG companies, because that's the mark of real success, being bumped around at 5 different companies in 6 years. Really going places there. Or there's the other one where so-and-so's course will teach you the perfect interview prep for $500 because getting the new job is all that really needs to happen. Honestly, if you believe that, cool. Carry on consuming. But if you actually want to build a freedom-focused, high-impact career and earn a top-level salary doing it, you need to get out of consumption mode. You need to get into production mode. You need to get into doing things and putting your reputation on the line and doing the work that comes along with that. That work is rarely staring at the same method that you've already optimized 10 times. That work is rarely talking about the same project that went really well 5 years ago. It's rarely talking about how you had this great product idea, but they would never let you do the user research to prove it. That's not where the difference lies. The difference lies in getting out there doing things. The easiest way to get started with doing things and making sure that you and your career are on the right path, going in the right direction, for the right reasons, to build for you the life that you really want, a life filled with joy, a life filled with happiness, and a life that is also productive, a life that has impact. The easiest way to get started with that is by talking to my team of career strategists. And you can do that. It's super easy. All you have to do for that, get out of consumption mode, pop open your browser, and go to thepeoplestack.com/book. And there, you'll find a calendar with a way to select a time that works best for you to talk to one of my career strategists, and you get an hour on the phone with them that you're going to come out of with a plan. A plan for what you can do, what you need to do in order to get your career off the bench and actually producing. So thepeoplestack.com/book. It's going to be the most impactful hour you've ever spent with a complete stranger. Guarantee it. They're going to talk to you about your career right now, what's working for you and what's not. And then they're going to talk about where you want to go. And if they can help you get to that high impact, high value, high love life of a career, they're going to tell you and show you how. And if they can't, they're going to tell you that and point you in the right direction for something that'll serve you better, but it won't be more consumption. So book that call. Get off the bench. Get started living and loving your life. And do it as soon as you can, honestly, because what else is there? Talk to you soon. Have a great day.